Hey, hello, welcome everyone again to our learning portal. So in the previous session, we have successfully completed a function, and now we are moving to our new topic, that is the modules. So let's quickly discuss about our today's agenda, and then we'll move further. So guys, yeah. So you can see our today's agenda, that is the modules introduction, like what is modules, what is the use of that, and then we will basically see the user defined modules, like how we can define our own modules, how we can use them. And at last, we'll see the import statement, like how we can use the import statement in the modules with a plenty of examples so that we'll get a better idea how it's working. So let's start, guys. So first of all, we'll see the theoretical part here, how we can use these things, and then we'll move further. So let me open my notes. So yes, guys. So today's our agenda is about the modules. Now, what is modules? So when we have learned about a function, so we have seen function is basically, you can say, a block of code, and we can use that block of code whenever we want in the same program. So let's suppose, so now guys, let's suppose in this part, if I have defined a function, let's say here I say let's say addition function, and I have defined this function in a file, let's say math functions.py. I have defined this function. Now let's suppose I am creating some another file, and there I want that add functionality. So if I want that add functionality in this particular file, in the file itself, then I can call that function whenever I want. But if I want that particular functionality in some another file, let's say my file.py. Now how I can use this particular function in that file? That is a question. So for that, we have a concept of modules, which means in Python, every file will be treated as a module, and we can import these files and these functions inside any another file. The only condition is the file should be available at the same path. Now that is the only thing. So when I will define any function in this part, I can use it in this file also, but I have to import it using the import keyword. So that is the goal, which we are going to learn today. Now, in modules, we have two types of modules. One is known as the user-defined modules, and second one is the predefined modules. Now, the user-defined modules are the modules which we can define, and the predefined modules are basically the modules, you can say, which is already defined, like the datetime module, the OS module, the calendar module, like these ones. Now we have multiple modules which are defined in Python. So we're not going to talk about that. In this part, we're basically going to see how we can create our own modules, the user-defined modules. So let's go in a practical way, guys, because that is more practical thing which you will see there, and that is a lot interesting topic. So stay tuned. Let's see how we can use that. So let me just open my idle here. Yeah. So now and here I am creating my file number one. Let's say this is our file number. And now I'm writing some code here. Let's say def add, which will add two numbers, which is taking the number in, and will return a plus b. That's it. Similarly, def square, which will take a number and return a number into a number, that is the square of the number. Now we have defined two functions. Now we know if I want to add here, I can use it. I'll just store it in a variable and now if anyone have any doubt in the function the return statements, please go through with the previous module. There I have given a lot of examples on them, like how we can use that parts. So here first of all I will run it and I can give it any name. So I'm just saving it in my documents and I'm just giving that one, let's say module 1, and that's it. You can give it any name. Here you can see the output also it is 30 for adding two numbers. Now my concern is I can use the add function here, no worries. But let's suppose I'm creating a new file. Now this is my new file. And here I have defined two variables and I want to do the addition of these two numbers. Now I know I can write that logic again for adding two numbers, that is a plus b. But let's suppose in any case if the logic is so much complex or we have to write it in so much big logic, so instead of writing it again and again we can use it from that function or that particular file. So for that what I will say here, you can see this is the particular module which we have created. This is the module. I will save it. And now I want to use it in this file. So what I will say, I want to import means I'm importing something. Now which thing I want to import? So I want to import module 1, which is the name of the file. Now it will import the module. Now after that I will say in module 1 I have a function that is known as add, and I will pass the variable a and b which I have created here. Now that doesn't mean that you have to define the same variable. You can change the name, let's say x and y, and I'll say I want x and y. The name can be anything. Now I will store the value in res and print the value res. Now you can see I have never defined that addition logic in this particular file. I am using that addition logic which I have created in some another file, and for using that part I am using the import keyword. So we first of all import that file, and inside that file I have a function. So I'm saying the file name dot the function name, whatever the required arguments I need, and then I'm printing the value. Now let's run and see the output for the. I'll save it as let's say module 2. And guys, here you can see the output that is 30. So this is the work how we can achieve this thing. So here we have used the function that is add. Now in the same manner, if I want to use that square, if I want to do the square of a number, I'll not do anything. I'll say module 1 dot square because I know that there is a square function. I'll just pass the value, store it in a variable, and print the result. Now this is the benefit of creating modules. Now we need not to define the logic again and again whenever I want to use that part. If I run this code, you can see the output that is 30 and 44. This is the way how we can easily create module and use them. That is called a user-defined module. So we have seen like how we can create our own modules and also how we can use the modules in the particular way. Now let me just divide my window into two parts so that will be easy for us for better clarity. Yeah. Now guys, here you can see we have created this module and we have used this module here. Now we have so much options of using the import statement. This is the first option how we can import the module. Now the second option is you can import the module like import Now that means I want to import the module 1 as m, which means whenever I will use the module 1 functionality, instead of writing the whole module 1 name, I will just write it as m, like m dot add. Now that will perform the same thing which is done in the previous way. I will store it and print it here. Let's check it out. So you can see the output that is 46. Similarly, we have one more option of using the module, that is from module 1 import square, which means from module 1 I just want to import the square function, not the add function. Like if I want to do some partial importing, then at that time I can use this one. I will say square of number 12, put it as alias, print the value of alias. That's it. You can see. So this is the third way how we can import the module. Now the fourth way is like one more thing here, what I will discuss is after square, if you want to like import add also, you can just put a comma and now you can import like multiple names. It's up to you. Now the last thing how we can import is we have the option of here, that is from module one import start, which means from module one import everything. Now you need not to write M1 module 1 anything, you have to just write the function name. It is R. You can see. So these are the ways how we can import module and how we can use them. And the import statement we have already seen it, and we have seen like how we can create our own module. Now here guys, you can create any kind of project. Like if you want to check that the number is even or odd, you can create a module here. Def even, it will take a number. Now if that number remainder 2 is equals to 0, then I will return not even, else I will return odd. Now that is done. So here I say import module 1 as an. Now see, this is my best, you can say I like the most this import technique. Like we have four options, I am using this one most of the time. And one dot is even, I can check that the number is even or not. That's it, 12 as of now. So res and now you can see it is an event. So this is the way guys how you can create your own module and how you can use them. And like creating module, you can see it's very easy. You need not do anything. That is the same part. It's just like a functions which you have created in the earlier parts. Instead of using that function in same code, we are just using in different code using the import statement. The only thing which you have to make sure is both of the files will be at the same path. So I recommend you guys to use this path. Try to create your own modules. Like for anything, like calculating the area of the circles, area of a square, area of rectangle, everything. That will give you a better idea. So let's move to our agenda and see what we have to cover today. So we have covered the modules introduction. We have created a user defined modules. We have used the import statement and lot of examples on that also. So that's done guys. So yeah, it's all for today. Now yeah, we have a thank you session guys. Feel free to share your feedback or any suggestions, and also if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. And please try to do more and more practice, because coding is all about practice. The more practice you do, you will get a more idea, more understanding of that. And if any kind of doubts, don't hesitate to ask. Please leave a question in the comment section. We will definitely dare to help you. Till the time, bye bye guys. Take care.